Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Third video today, you lucky people. I think this is how I'm going to do them from now on. We'll have a Doctor Who update if and when I actually complete an adventure. Then I'll probably do a separate video with a couple of reviews of a couple of the bits and pieces that I've watched during the week. And then maybe another video of just an informal chat, because somebody mentioned to me this week that they miss me just sitting here prattling at them. So I thought we'll give this way a go. Plus it cuts the running time down, which means I don't have quite so many software problems. Watched a movie last night, absolutely brilliant. It's called Save the Cinema. It's a Sky original, so you'll find it on Sky Movies. It stars Samantha Morton, who is completely unrecognisable. I remember her from The Walking Dead. She played Alpha, the psychotic, horrible, vile cow leader of the Whisperers in the final season that I actually watched. She's completely unrecognisable in this, totally different. You've also got Tom Felton, who hails from the Harry Potter movies. You've got Jonathan Pryce, who is an amazing actor. I mostly remember him from his stint in Breaking Glass with Hazel O'Connor. But he's just got one of those voices. I could listen to him reading the phone book. He's amazing. The story is it's based on a true story of a lady called Liz Evans, who ran a theatre in Carmarthen in Wales. She was also sort of running a theatre group with local people, putting on shows. It's mostly kids, putting on shows like Oliver, Jesus Christ Superstar. And she gets news that the council have approved the demolition of the theatre to build a shopping centre. So obviously enraged, she goes straight down there, as words, as they do. And it involves her taking possession of the building, moving her hairdressing business into the building, occupying it so that they can't knock it down. And then we go on to a slightly another level where she decides to turn it back into a cinema. The theatre used to be a cinema many years ago, screening old classic movies. And this is where Jonathan Pryce comes into his own. He plays a professor at the local college and a great friend of Liz. And he says he knows someone who has some old 35mm prints of movies that he will be willing to loan to put on a screening of a movie to attract maybe the older residents back to the cinema, and hopefully they will back her on this campaign to save it. They get a copy of a movie called How Green Is My Valley, which I've never seen, but I've managed to track down and I will be watching it, which is a huge success. But it doesn't stop the council from wanting to demolish the building, so she takes it to yet another level and contacts personally Steven Spielberg to find out whether he can authorise a copy of Jurassic Park to be screened as a premiere at the cinema, which she thinks will help save the theatre. It's set in 1993, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't be a premiere. It is a wonderful, wonderful, warm, fuzzy drama stroke comedy. It is one of those films that you can settle down with on a rainy Saturday afternoon with a cup of hot chocolate and a biscuit, and you will absolutely love it. It has the same charming quality to me as movies like Local Hero, Gregory's Girl, that kind of thing. It's just inoffensive comedy. There's no sex, no violence, not much swearing. It is just a lovely film. If you get a chance to watch it, I would highly, highly recommend it. It's on Sky Movies, and it's called Save the Cinema. Believe me, you will not regret it. It is a beautiful way to spend 2 hours, and it's a lovely story. So yeah, highly recommend that one. What have I been buying this week? Good God, not much as it goes. Invested in a copy of this one because I want to write a review for this. This is possibly the coolest, grooviest, yes, I did say grooviest, Dracula film that you will ever see. Dracula AD 1972. I'll talk more about this when I actually review it. I need to watch it again because I've not seen it for a while, but this is one of my favourite Hammer Dracula movies, and is well worth a look. I also ended up with this. I've got to find time to read it now. Can You Dig It? It's basically, as it says on the front, the phenomenon of the Warriors. It's to do with the making of the movie, the stars, the legacy it left behind. It looks a cracking book, and I'm really, really looking forward to getting into that. I was going to start a bin it or keep it session, do you remember? So here's the first one for you. Limitless. Bradley Cooper. It's all to do with a drug that enhances brain ability. He takes this drug and basically becomes like a superhuman. But there's obviously a come down of this. I watched this a while ago. It's not a bad film. It's a really, really good film. But it's one of those that I don't think I'm going to be watching again. That's the key to this bin it or keep it thing. Am I going to watch it again? Because if it's just going to sit there on the shelf gathering dust for decades, I might as well just give it to the charity shop and thin my collection out a bit, because I do have way too many Blu-rays and DVDs. So I need to organise that a bit. So I reckon bin it or keep it. I think this is a bin it. So I'm going to get rid of that one. Back with another one next week. What else is there? Wokery. My God, they've been at it again. What is it with these people? I read a report on the internet, funnily enough. The BBC are now looking into old radio shows. They're being very coy about this. They've not publicised it. This is somebody else that found this out. But they're going through old radio series like Dad's Army. I mean, for God's sake, Dad's Army. And there's another one called, I think it's called I'm Sorry, I'll Read That Again. And what they are doing is snipping little bits out, little bits that might be offensive to certain people, words and phrases. I mean, oh, for God's sake. These radio shows are 50 plus years old. Oh, I'm going to have a proper rant about wokery sometime, a real good one. Because I'm getting so pissed off with reading about these bloody idiots that just want to cut everything. They just want to cut things, and they honestly think that by cutting things and banning things and not allowing things to be shown, that we will forget what we used to laugh at. Shows like Love Thy Neighbour, Mind Your Language, films like Blazing Saddles. Do you honestly think that if you ban them, we will forget about them? We won't. We laughed at them. I'm sorry, but we did. I've had this discussion before, and I'm going to do a proper one on this when I've got my thoughts together on it. But wokery, oh God almighty, I have never yet met anybody that has said to me, I saw a clip of Benny Hill last night, or a Carry On film, really, really offended by it. Do you know what? You got a choice. If you see something on the TV that you don't like, change the channel. I've seen things in the past that I've watched and thought, oh my God, I don't like this. I'm not offended by it, but I don't like it. But my first reaction is not to contact the TV station and say, this is disgusting, you need to ban this, or don't show it again. Because I know there are people out there that do enjoy these kind of things. Oh, do you know what, wokes? Just jack it in, will you? We're all getting really bored of it now. And that's the worst thing of it. The whole thing is just bloody boring. I think the last one I read about was Greece. They were trying to ban that one because of certain phrases that were in that. I'll come back to this at another point when I'm a little more a little more controlled. I found a new magazine that I'm quite taken with. I found this in the town. Infinity. This is a cracking little magazine. It's all to do with cult movies and cult TV. I'm not going to flip through it. I'm just going to find certain pages just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here. You've got, in this one, this is the latest one, got an article on Blake 7, a bit further on. Oh, there we go. We all remember this lady from the 60s, Raquel Welch in 1 million years BC. There's all sorts in here. There's even a poster in here, I think. You've got reviews. There's even an article on Sabutio, the game. So I'm quite taken with this. I've subscribed to this and also its sister magazine, The Dark Side, which is another horror magazine. And in this issue you've got, what have you got in here? Oh, all sorts. Here we go. Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. That's a little known gem from the 70s. You've got reviews of DVDs. That's just a nice little magazine, and it goes very well with the other magazines that I subscribe to. You wouldn't believe how many I've got here. Let me just run through them very quickly. I subscribe to all of these. I get these through every month. Yours Retro, which is again is retro movies, TV, movies, music. Total Film, love this one. That's all the up-to-date stuff. Empire, king of the movie review magazines. This is a new one, Little White Lies. I've listened to the podcast of Little White Lies. It's very highbrow. I sometimes come away from it thinking, what the hell are you people talking about? But I thought I'd give the magazine a go. Starburst, which has been around for decades. I used to buy this when I was a teenager, if I remember right. That's all science fiction horror. We've got that one. SFX, that's mostly science fiction and horror. Filmhounds, nice small little book, lovely articles. We've got the poster of Serrano. It's just a nice little Scream, horror movies. Sight and Sound, which is the BFI's magazine. I got this one as well, Cult Classics. I've got to read this one yet. There's going to be loads of films in there I'm going to want to talk about. Again, Sight and Sound, that's an old one. And the final one, Film Stories. This is quite a new kid on the block, but I love this. It's mostly to do with independent movies. So obviously you've got articles, you've got your letters. I don't even know. We'll leave that for now. So that is my monthly magazine intake. Do I get to read them all? Of course I bloody don't. How am I going to get through that lot? But I do flick through them, and I do sort of take note of certain articles, and if I see anything that I think will be of interest to you, I will of course inform you of what's coming. But yeah, that's it's quite expensive as well, but I love these things dropping through the letterbox. I just love to have a flick through them, so they're worth it. And God knows I don't spend my money on much else apart from Blu-rays and DVDs and books. So right, that's it for this week, folks. I've gone up to nearly 13 minutes, so that's not too bad. I should have kept you busy for a quarter of an hour. Thanks ever so much for joining me. I'll be back again next week with more gossip and crap. I'll sit here and natter at you for another 10-15 minutes or so. So if you've enjoyed the video, as usual, just give me a thumbs up and also subscribe. That would be amazing. And I will talk to you all again next week. Take care, folks. Ta-da.